Anyways, I'm recording now. This is the fourth call that I have committed to doing in February to really show what our team is like and what coaching is like behind the scenes. If you've been following along with the last three calls, you have learned a lot about our team, about our culture, about what we are wanting to do together to make a difference in the world and what coaches really are like, because so many people do not understand the full potential that coaching carries for people. They don't realize what it can do and why we do it. All you can see is on social media, people posting and sharing and their videos and their workouts and their Shakeology, and it can become very mundane, I know, for other people. So that's why I wanted to give everybody who would share 30 minutes for 5 times this month with me a chance to really see what goes on behind the scenes. I shared a lot about what got me started, about what changes it has made for my family, myself, my future, and for so many people on our team, and most of all, our family, our children, the impact it's made. And last week we talked about really some of the benefits of coaching and what an ideal coach is. And so I wanted to just kind of go a little bit further into detail about that tonight. That so many people have this idea of what an ideal coach is. And what I was sharing last week is that everybody is an ideal coach. Everybody has the potential to be an amazing coach. Everybody out there is coach material. It doesn't mean that everybody's going to embrace the coaching experience or opportunity at that time. It doesn't mean they're going to run with it, but I know that the people that are coachable and teachable and that listen to the trainings that we share and duplicate what I have done to be successful, which is exactly what other coaches have done in the past that I just duplicated, then you will see success as well. Once you get the ideal out of your head of what a coach is, and you really just see yourself as somebody with potential and somebody starting out, an entrepreneur who is starting out an amateur and will over time become an incredible coach. And when you realize that you have a gift and that this isn't something that you're burdening people with, or you're not being intrusive, but that you're really giving somebody an opportunity and it's really at their discretion to use or accept, then it becomes a whole lot easier. I found that so many people that are coaches, they really just talk about the physical transformation and the health transformation, and that's really a big part of it. Most coaches or customers get started just for the physical part. They want to look better, feel better, feel confident when they're naked in front of their spouse, or when they're at a pool party, or when they go to the beach, or when they head to a high school reunion. But there's so much more that is involved, and what I wanted to share with you is something we talked about in the Team Relentless group page that I have for everybody in our team. And we talked about what coaching brings to our life. And I shared that for me, coaching means new friendships, deep-rooted relationships with people who are once strangers, the ability to change the direction of someone's life and hear them say, "You changed my life," increase confidence, accountability, freedom, becoming more educated about physical fitness, nutrition, and how to build and improve relationships. It helps you find your dreams, gives you the confidence and ability to achieve them, and the ability to change lives while doing so. Having a support system, the ability to create $1 million business for as low as $39.95, the ability to build a home-based business that gives you more freedom, and the ability to earn as much income as you are willing to help others. Somebody else shared that you get a sense of empowerment with becoming a coach. And another person also added that you self-esteem was something that she has gotten and what means so much to her that she didn't have before. She says it's the greatest feeling when you accomplish something, the feeling when your challenger or coach under you tells you how happy and confident they are now. And that is really what it is that there's so many people out there who are alone, who are struggling, and what you don't even realize that you might be the only person out there that believes in them, or that they feel believes in them, that you reach out to them. And that's what my coach was to me. There are so many benefits there that your whole life can change. I wasn't this confident. I never thought I would speak on team calls. I never thought that I would do the things that I do, but it's all happened because of coaching. It's kind of like the ripple effect, that one choice leads you to another opportunity and another opportunity. And every decision you make day in and day out really determines your future. And if it weren't for coaching, if it weren't for my coach believing in me, if it weren't for my huge support system that I have from the coaches that I've sponsored and the coaches that they've sponsored and the coaches that are part of the team that my coach started, I wouldn't be here today. I don't know where my marriage would be. I don't know where my family would be. My finances would be definitely a total mess. And there's one thing I wanted to talk about is you hear all the time about how the incomes are replaced. And I've shared with you that my coach was a project manager with, a business degree, and she worked for this same contractor from out of high school until she quit in August of 2013. And she was making six figures. And then her sister was, a just made partner at this law firm. And she was making six figures. She also was in a lot of debt with student loans, even though she was making six figures, 10 years out of college. But, what about the little people? And that's one thing that I want to share is I was somebody who had a child at 18. I didn't have a chance to go to college. Even if I hadn't have had a child at 18, there was no college planning for my parents. So I was on my own. And so I just worked from job to job to job. And the other day, I actually wrote a list on a legal pad of paper. I started working babysitting at 11, and I actually started working on somebody's payroll at age 14. And I wrote down all the jobs that I worked from 11, starting with babysitting, all the way until coaching. And I never stayed in one place for this long, ever in my life. Coaching is the only thing that I've done for over 4 years straight, and I still consider this exciting and fun, and I have just as much passion and enthusiasm as I did the day that I signed up. And I look at all the jobs that I did, and I just remember that feeling of just emptiness and always looking for something better and something that would, I enjoyed. And I hear this all the time from people that, well, maybe I should go back to school and do something. And maybe, I always think, why go back to college and go into debt to just take a chance on a career that you may not like, or you may not find a job in that industry, or you may not make enough money to even cover your student loans. I hear this all the time. But for me, this was a huge opportunity for me. I beat myself up for years. Like, why did you have a kid so young? Why don't you go to college? And then people would always tell me, oh, you should go, do online college. And I would just hit wall after wall after wall when you're trying to raise children, trying to pay bills, and barely making it where I was. I'm like, how could I go to college? How would I have time? And so when this fell into my lap, it gave me the ability to learn how to be an entrepreneur, learn how to be a business woman, learn how to be a leader, because I'd never been in management. Where I was going, never would have been there. I was making max $45,000 a year. And that was this one place I was at. It was very volatile. I was fired twice by him. He was basically a cocaine addict, but a really successful business person. I know that doesn't really seem to go hand in hand, but it was a scary environment. So making that $45,000 and sticking it out just because that was the most I ever made, and living under those circumstances, being fearful every time I walked into that door, and then being canned twice and having no compassion for him, that's just really not living, and that's not what I wanted. But I had settled for a job making about, on average, $32,000 to $34,000 a year. And I know that that's more than a lot of people make, because people have talked to me about this. The people that I've helped, become a coach and leave their jobs, I know what they make. So here I was with 3 kids, 2 stepchildren, all that at the time we thought, well, we want to send them to college. We want them to go, be able to drive, all these different things. And how could I do that with that much money? I was barely making ends meet. I was having to cut corners everywhere I went. I was having to use credit cards for birthday parties, credit cards for Christmas. And so here was this opportunity that, yes, I don't have this huge success story of replacing a 6-figure income and being able to, fire my boss and do that. But I have a story that I was somebody who was stuck thinking that I could never make more than $32,000 to $36,000 a year. And then I was able to make 6 figures and learn as I went along. I've thought about it as I was working on my taxes the last couple of weeks, and I was like, man, it used to be so much easier when I just had that one W-2, or sometimes I had 2 or 3 because I would switch jobs so much. And I would just do my taxes online or go to H&R Block and boom, e-file, get my money in 3 weeks tops. And I would just wait for that money. And then I was thinking like, that mindset was so different than it is now, because yes, it is a little complicated. It is a lot complicated trying to learn how to file taxes as a business owner. But for me, I would rather live comfortably and be able to share with others, including setting a great example for my children, and working hard for something that's mine, and have to work hard for my taxes and maybe pay a little bit in, than work at a mediocre average job, living in debt, living just a little bit above poverty, and being that person that's just waiting for their tax return every year to buy that one thing that you want to spend money on. And I just really thought that I've changed my way of thinking because of coaching. I always thought I had to be an employee, like I talked about on last week's call. And now I am here to tell everyone, give everyone the message that you don't have to do that. You don't have to work for somebody. You don't have to live by somebody else's hours. You don't have to live by somebody else's rules. You don't have to do what everybody else in society has told you and your parents have told you. Year after year, as you've grown up and as an adult, you do not have to do that. You can have more. All it takes is wanting more and finding the right path. And this is exactly where it is. It's so amazing that on top of that, you just see your potential. You see what you can do. It gives you confidence. It gives you the ability to improve every facet of your life. For me, relationships have always been a hard part of my life because I was put up for adoption. I left home at 15. I have codependent issues. I have, depression, anxiety. That doesn't make for really good relationships. I'm a people person, but I suck at relationships. It has gotten so much better. The quality of my friendships, the way I talk to people, the way I interact with them, because of coaching. So those are things that people just don't realize, that you can't get that from a box of DVDs, but you can get it from being part of our community. You can get it from being part of our team. I was somebody that always just felt like I had to fit in, and I looked different. I was raised by white people in a town full of white people, and was raised in a really religious sector where it was, I was an outcast, and I was always trying to fit in. I knew nothing about my heritage. I knew nothing about my roots, my genetics, anything. I was made fun of, ridiculed for everything, for having old parents, for being adopted, for being Asian, for being what people didn't even know what I was, called all sorts of names, being flat-chested, not being able to date, not being able to do this, not being able to do that. And I lived with this pain all the time of trying to fit in. And the one thing that coaching brought to me is the fact that I can be whoever the fuck I want to be, whoever I am. I'm exactly who I am. And you know what? There are thousands of people across the nation that are part of our organization that I have spent time on calls with, message back and forth every day, spent time at events, and helped, and they've helped me, that they truly love me, flaws and all. I've been able to bare my soul about my failures, my insecurities, and not be judged by it by anybody in the Team Beachbody community. I've been, if anything, been applauded and been encouraged and really built up instead of broken down. And so many people just settle for these crowds and these friendships and these relationships from people that just don't love them for who they are. And that just really beats down your self-esteem and your confidence. So for me, another facet is just, I have somewhere to belong. Once you become a coach, once you join Team Relentless, once you join any Team Diesel Nation, or a coach from within Diesel Nation or Team Relentless, you are never alone. And people every day feel alone. But when you become a coach, you are never alone. That's something that is so huge to me, because I never had a family. And so now I have a family. I have somewhere to belong. And I'm not just here. I'm not just trying to fit in. I actually belong, because I can't tell you how painful it was as a child to be in a home that was considered a family home and never really feel like I fit in or I belong. And now I do. And it's filled that void in my life. And maybe your story is you have a great family and that's not what even motivates you, but that's what motivates me. And my story has been able to touch so many other people who have similar or completely opposite stories as me. And that's all we do as coaches, is just encourage people. Tonight we had a friend over and we were talking with him about 21 Day Fix Extreme and explaining to him the process of what we wanted to help him with, how to set him up for success instead of failure. And we just talked. It was not a sales pitch. And like even my husband said, I'm never trying to sell anything on you. I just want you to have a great lifestyle. And he was like, no, he's actually outside. So he was like, no, I've never felt like I was being sold. He is excited because we're excited. He has now a vision where he can be healthy and he can feel good. And that's really what we, Ryan and I, talk about more than just, having, I'm chasing after a six-pack abs, who isn't? But really what I'm trying to do is create a healthy lifestyle and get people to think about a healthy lifestyle and just feeling great about themselves inside and out, more than focusing on the scale or abs or certain results or a size. And I've noticed that the people that I've talked to one-on-one that have taken a chance on me and taken a chance on themselves and invest in themselves, when we do our initial consultation and I ask them, do you have a certain goal you're trying to reach, or a size or a weight, or something you're trying to accomplish by an event? And all of them lately have been saying, I just want to feel good. And I thought, then my message is getting out loud and clear, because I can do that. I can help you feel good. I can help you feel good about yourself, and I can help you feel good, fresh and clean, body and physically wise. So that was just something that I wanted to share with you, that is so important that you understand that this is what you as coaches or potential coaches have to offer to people. And so many people think that you have to be at this ideal weight, and you have to be social, and you have to be good at sales, and you have to be pushy and this. And the last thing that I want you to do is be a salesman. I want you to be a sharer of your story, a sharer of your knowledge, somebody who gives value back, somebody who makes people feel great, somebody who attracts the right people who want to be in our family. And the funny thing is, so many people don't realize, and I know this from going to events and being a coach for 4 years and meeting lots of coaches and onboarding lots of coaches onto my team, and is that what you don't realize is that most coaches are introverted. Most coaches are shy. Most coaches were scared to death when they first started. The most successful top coaches will tell you that they were scared to death when they became a coach. Today, we have the National Wake Up Call with Janelle Summers, who is Chalene Johnson's sister, who told her amazing story, which I've heard several times. She's done amazing things, but she shared too that she was shy and that she was skeptical about this business. So I want to let you know that if you are thinking about coming on to Team Relentless or whatever team it is that you're wanting to join, understand that a lot of the fears that you have are the exact same fears and thoughts and skeptical, thinking that successful coaches had. The difference between successful people and non-successful people are the fact that successful people keep going and keep trying no matter what. And so one thing I just want to leave you with is that I want to share with you one last story that I always share whenever I do any coach sneak peeks, from one of my friends. She actually was located in Santa Monica, but just recently in the last year relocated to Austin. And we worked together as success partners, and I wanted to share her story with you because so many people out there really feel that you have to be in an ideal weight. I hear this all the time. I'm wait till I finish a round of 21 Day Fix, or I'm gonna wait till I have a story or get abs to share with somebody. And because people think that truly that is what makes them successful. And I found more and more that people are more motivated by relatable stories and stories of, failure, because people know failure. They know disappointment. They know frustration, and they just want an answer to how to overcome it and to fix it and to deal with it. So I wanted to share with you Amber's story. I'm going to share the screen here. This is her story right here. If you can see where she started, she was 150 pounds overweight when she started. This is her at 246 pounds. I want to read with you her story. She said, I was almost 300 pounds when I signed up to be a coach. I was terrified that people would make fun of me, ignore me, laugh at me, and that honestly would make me fail even worse. As it turned out, everything I was worried about was just my own insecurities. I'm down 100 pounds. Now she's down to 150 pounds. But when she wrote this, she said that I never would have kept off if I didn't have the support and accountability of the people that I was helping. I just had my 3-year coach anniversary as a coach, and I came in number 5 in the company last year. All because I got started from day one on my journey. People flocked to me because I shared the whole journey, not just the shiny end piece with a seemingly perfectly body life, etc. I would love to be totally clear with everyone that this is not a job, that this is not a job as a personal trainer or nutritionist. This is a job of support. Coaches who start at the beginning of their journey always have just as successful of a business as those who wait, if not maybe even a bit more. Once you're a finished product, you are then stuck competing with every other fad diet, personal trainer, Group X class, Pilates, Groupon, and Bowflex machine out there. When you start and ask people to come with you, it's totally different. Not to mention, the sooner you sign, no matter if you are starting or finished with your journey, the more coaches you'll make an income off in the long term, because this team is growing quickly. Honestly, do not wait if you think this is a path you'd like to take. I got interviewed in my second year as a coach, still 200 pounds, in a video, and I'm going to share this in the event invite later on. If you want to see a little bit more, she talks about in her interview with our CEO on this video, which I'll share in the event invite, but I really recommend you watching. I worked with her doing Zoom calls just like this. She's literally 90 miles away. She was a top 10 coach, even when she still is not at her ideal weight. So I want you to think about that you don't have to be perfect, and that you actually are just inviting people to join you, to hold yourself accountable just as much as holding them accountable. And you never know how good you will be at something unless you try. If you always say no, the answer is always the door is always going to be closed. I'm going to keep asking you over and over and over again to join, because one day you might realize that you need this now, and you maybe didn't need it a year ago because circumstances change. And I urge you coaches to never give up on what it is you're trying to achieve, and to keep sharing with other people as well, because you never know what is going to change in their life. They may go to the doctor and find out that their health is not that well. They may lose a job. They may be drowning in debt. They may be suffering from depression, and everybody around them has left them or passed away, and they're just looking for somewhere to belong. You don't know people's story, and you don't have the right or the authority to decide for them. So keep inviting, keep sharing with people, and I'm going to keep sharing what I do, because 4 years later, I am still excited about it. And it's one thing that my therapist and I talked about the other day. She was like, what do you do for fun? And I said, my job is fun. She's like, it really does seem like it is. I'm like, no, it doesn't seem like it is. It is. I thoroughly enjoy this. I would not go into work at 9:30 at night to do a conference call if I was still working in the insurance industry or anything. But here I am, because I know this is the gift that I have to give to you, and an opportunity to share with you. And I'm willing to stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning telling you all about it. But I won't. I promise to keep this very short. So anyways, if you don't have any questions, I'm going to end this call and then share with you that the last call of this series is actually going to be on Sunday at 4 o'clock. The reason why I've alternated days of the week and times is because I know that there's so many people on the East Coast, West Coast with different schedules. And I'm actually excited that Ryan told me that Adam Borrego and Karina, his wife, are possibly coming up on Sunday, and we're going to meet together, and some of the coaches are going to come over and hang out and meet up. So I'm hoping that he'll be here and Rena will be here at 4 whenever we do our last call, where I kind of really wrap up everything about our team and really share the details of what it would be like and how you could get started with our team this month. So definitely check into the next event invite that I'm going to invite you to, so you can stay up to date for the next call that'll be at 4 o'clock on Sunday. I'm also going to upload this to my YouTube channel along with all of the other recordings from the past calls. So if you want to pass it on to somebody who you think might really benefit from this, because this might not be for you, but this might be ideal for somebody you know, please share, because this is such an amazing opportunity. Thank you all for your time, and I hope you have a great evening.